Portrait of an INTJ. INTJs are the most confident of all the types, having self-power awareness found in about 1% of the general population. The INTJs live in an introspective reality, focusing on possibilities, using thinking in the form of empirical logic, and preferring that events and people serve some positive use. Decisions come naturally to INTJs. Once a decision is made, INTJs are at rest. INTJs look to the future rather than the past, and in a word which captures the essence of INTJs is builder, a builder of systems. Sorry about that. A builder of systems and the applier of theoretical models. To INTJs, authority based on position, rank, title, or publication has absolutely no force. This type is not likely to succumb to the magic of slogans, watchwords, or shibboleths. Shibboleths. If an idea or position makes sense to an INTJ, it will be adopted. If it doesn't, it won't, regardless of who took the position or generated the idea. As with the INTP, authority per se does not impress the INTJ. INTJs do, however. INTJs do, however, tend to conform to rules if they are useful, not because they believe in them or because they make sense, but because of their unique view of reality. They are the supreme pragmatists who see reality as something which is quite arbitrary and made up. Thus, it can be used as a tool or ignored. Reality is quite malleable and can be changed, conquered, or brought to heel. Reality is a crucible for the refining of ideas, and in this sense, the INTJs are the most theoretical of all the types. Where an ESTP sees ideas as the pawn of reality, an INTJ sees reality as the pawn of ideas. No idea is too far-fetched to be entertained. INTJs are natural brainstormers, always open to new concepts and, in fact, aggressively seeking them. INTJs manipulate the world of theory as if on a gigantic chessboard, always seeking strategies and tactics that have high payoff. In their penchant for logic, the INTJs resemble the INTPs. The logic of an INTJ, however, is not confined to the expressible logical. Unlike INTPs, INTJs need only to have a vague intuitive impression of the unexpressed logic of a system to continue surely on their way. Things need only seem logical. This is entirely sufficient. Moreover, they always have a keen eye for the consequence of the application of new ideas or positions. They can be quite ruthless in the implementation of systems, seldom counting personal cost in terms of time and energy. Theories, which cannot be made to work, are quickly discarded by the INTJs. To understand INTJs, their way of dealing with reality rather than their way of dealing with ideas should be observed closely. Their conscious thought is extroverted and empirical. Hence, they are better at generalizing, classifying, summarizing, adducing evidence, proving, and demonstrating than are the INTPs and the INTJs. Than are the INTPs. This one is about INTJ. The INTJs are somewhat less at home with pure reason, that is, systemic logic, where principles are explicit. In this respect, they resemble the ENTJs. The INTJs, rather than using deductive logic, use their intuition to grasp coherence. INTJs have a drive to completion, always with an eye to long-term consequences. Ideas seem to carry their own force for INTJs, although they subject every idea to the test of usefulness. Difficulties are highly stimulating to INTJs, who love responding to a challenge that requires creativity. These personality traits lead INTJs to occupations where theoretical models can be translated into actuality. They build the data and human systems wherever they work, if given even a slight opportunity. They can be outstanding in scientific research, and also outstanding as executives who generate a plethora of implementations of ideas. Teamed with the INTP, who is the architect of systems, the INTJ provides a dimension to an organization which ensures that the work of the INTP does not gather dust on library shelves. INTJs can be very single-minded at times. This can be either a weakness or a strength in their careers, for they can ignore the point of view and wishes of others. INTJs usually rise to positions of responsibility, for they work long and hard and are steady in their pursuit of goals, sparing neither time nor effort on their part or that of their colleagues and employees. INTJs live to see systems translated into substance. An INTP, by way of contrast, is content to design the system. In both these types, however, coherence is the master. Both internal and external consistency are important, and if an INTJ finds that he or she is in a working situation where overlapping functions, duplication of effort, inefficient paper flow, and waste of human and material resources abound, the INTJ cannot rest until an effort is made to correct the situation. Cost-effectiveness is a concept which has a strong imperative for INTJs, who frequently select occupations in engineering, particularly human engineering. They also can be found in the physical sciences, in roles which require development, such as curriculum building, and in general any job which requires the creation and application of technology to complex areas. Fellow workers of INTJs often feel as if the INTJ can see right through them, and often believe that the INTJ finds them wanting. This tendency of people to feel transparent in the presence of the INTJ often results in the relationships which have psychological distance. Thus, colleagues find the INTJ apparently unemotional and at times cold and dispassionate because of their tendency to drive others as hard as they do themselves. INTJs often seem demanding and difficult to satisfy. INTJs are high achievers in school and on the job. On the job, they take the goals of an institution seriously and continuously strive to respond to these goals. They make dedicated, loyal employees whose loyalties are directed toward the system rather than toward individuals within the system. So as the people of an institution come and go, the INTJs have little difficulty, unlike the NFs, who have their loyalties involved more with persons than offices. INTJs tend, ordinarily, to verbalize the positive and eschew comments of a negative nature. They are more interested in moving an institution forward than commiserating about the mistakes of the past. As mates, INTJs want harmony and order in the home and in relationships. They are the most independent of all the types. They will trust their intuitions about others when making choices of friends and mates, even in the face of contradictory evidence and pressures applied by others. The emotions of an INTJ are hard to read, and neither male nor female INTJs is apt to express emotional reactions. At times, both will seem cold, reserved, and unresponsive, while in fact INTJs are almost hypersensitive to signals of rejection from those for whom they care. In social situations, INTJs may also be unresponsive, may neglect to observe small rituals designed to put others at their ease. For example, INTJs may communicate that time is wasted if used for idle dialogue, and thus people receive a sense of hurry from an INTJ, which is not always intended. In their interpersonal relationships, INTJs are usually better in a working situation than in recreational situations. They do not enjoy physical contact except with a chosen few. As parents, INTJs are dedicated and single-minded in their devotion. Their children are a major focus in life. They are supportive of their children and tend to allow them to develop in directions of their own choosing. INTJs usually are firm and consistent in their discipline and rarely care to repeat directions given to children or others. Being the most independent of all the types, they have a strong need for autonomy. Indifference or criticism from people in general does not particularly bother INTJs. If they believe that they are right, they also have a strong need for privacy. The most important preference of an INTJ is intuition, but this is seldom seen. Rather, the function of thinking is used to deal with the world and with people. INTJs are vulnerable in the emotional area and may make serious mistakes here. Thank you for listening. I appreciate you.